You don't start by lifting an extremely heavy weight. You will hurt yourself, you will break yourself, and it may only happen once. Right? And you wouldn't want to jump off the highest cliff onto that trampoline before you get a sense of what it's like to jump off a low cliff onto that trampoline. You have to know the trampoline. Leadership's the same, courage is the same, which is you don't start with the biggest weight. You start with small weights and you get comfortable and you build the muscle. And as you build the muscle, you also build your confidence. And as you build your confidence, you can lift heavier weight. And as you lift heavier weight, you build the muscle again. And you also learn how to deal with pushing and pain, but your body's in shape and you can take it. So I think there's a big difference between jumping out of a plane and jumping out of a plane with a parachute. Both have the same sort of madness, but one is a little more secure than the other.
What I learned is that the great leaders, the most inspiring leaders, everybody from Mahatma Gandhi, Martin Luther King, Steve Jobs, all these great leaders, these inspiring leaders, every single one of them thinks, acts, and communicates the exact same way. And it's the complete opposite to the rest of us, where we start telling people what we do, they start telling you what they believe.
And I've known some wonderful leaders who don't have huge world-changing vision. I've known some wonderful leaders that are quiet and sit in the corner, but they all have courage. The courage to advance a vision, the courage to ignore the short-term ups and downs of the business, the courage to take risks on people, the courage to believe in people, the courage to speak truth to power, the courage to do the right thing and have integrity. I think courage is a very undervalued characteristic of leadership.
One of the great things that is lacking in most of our companies is that they are not teaching us how to lead. And leadership is a skill like any other. It is a practicable, learnable skill. And it is something that you work on. It's like a muscle. If you practice, you will get good at it and you will become a strong leader. If you stop practicing, you will become a weak leader. Like parenting, everyone has the capacity to be a parent. Doesn't mean everybody wants to be a parent, and doesn't mean everybody should be a parent. Leadership is the same. We all have the capacity to be a leader. Doesn't mean everybody should be a leader, and it doesn't mean everybody wants to be a leader. And the reason is because it comes at great personal sacrifice. Remember, you're not in charge, you're responsible for those in your charge. That means things like when everything goes right, you have to give away all the credit. And when everything goes wrong, you have to take all the responsibility. Nobody is smart enough or strong enough to do this thing called leadership all by themselves. Leadership is just too difficult. The great leaders I know, they know how to ask for help. They know how to say, I don't understand. I think number one is there's no such thing as a great leader without a team of great people around them. Leadership is a team sport. And thinking you have to do everything alone, you're going to burn yourself out and you're going to break yourself. And ultimately, you'll hurt the organization. So ask for help when you need it. Admit you don't know things when you don't know them. And you find you're surrounded by people who want to help you. And I hear it, I get pushback all the time. Well, I didn't get to choose my team. You can't ask me to trust them out the gate. Well, you didn't get to choose your children. You love them out the gate. Leaders take the risk to trust. And the more they give trust, the more they get trust. The more they give trust, the more they're practicing empowerment. I'm going to let you do that. As one great leader that I adore, her name is General Laurie Robinson. She says to her teams, there's nothing you can break that I can't help fix. I just love that notion that I'm here to help you. Leaders only have one thing, they have followers. A follower is somebody who raises their hand and volunteers to go where you're going. They raise their hand and volunteer to go in the direction that you're pointing. And so to lead others means that you have a clear vision of a world that does not yet exist, a world that could exist. In my work, what leadership means is articulating this world in which the vast majority of us wake up every single day, inspired to go to work, and come home every single day fulfilled by the work that we do. We confuse rank and leadership. Rank has nothing to do with leadership. I know many people who sit at the highest levels of organizations who are not leaders. They have authority, and we do as they tell us because they have authority over us, but we would not follow them. And yet I know many people who sit at lower ranks who have no authority, and yet they have made a choice, the choice to look after the person to the left of them, and the choice to look after the person to the right of them, and we would trust them and follow them anywhere. Leadership is the acceptance of the awesome responsibility to create an environment in which people can work at their natural best. The senior-most people in an organization are not responsible for the results. They are just not, right?